All right, guys, today we're finally getting a chance to walk you around the all-new 2025 Toyota 4Runner. We have two versions in this video today. We're in a limited right now, and we have the Trailhunter over there parked on a rock. That is the overlanding version of the new 4Runner. The trims in this new SUV are kind of mimicking those seen in the Toyota Tacoma, which is interesting. So we've got a TRD Pro, a Trailhunter, this limited, there's a Platinum. There's overall 9 trim levels in the new 4Runner, starting from the base SR5, the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, the TRD Off-Road Premium. It just goes up from there. We don't have pricing information yet. These are pre-production prototype vehicles, but everything in here looks finished, like all of the appointments and the door trim, they look finished. So let's walk you around this. As you can see from the interior, this is a very familiar looking space, very similar interior to the new Toyota Tacoma. Actually, it almost looks identical in some respects. Maybe side by side there are some slight differences, but we have really nice physical controls and ergonomics in this interior. You've got your heated steering wheel button right down here, the same cruise control and volume controls and steering wheel buttons that we see in the new Sequoia, the Tundra, the Tacoma. I mean, this is all these TNGA-F platform SUVs and trucks. They're all kind of sharing the same interiors. And I like that because Toyota's done a really nice job designing this interior. We have big chunky buttons for our climate control and volume and our drive mode selector down here. Let's hop outside. You guys have already probably seen plenty of photos and videos of this new 4Runner. This Limited has automatic side steps. That's nice. You can get this in both a 2 or a 3-row version. I don't believe we have any 3-row 4Runners out here at this event this week, so we'll have to show you what that looks like at a later date. But the basics, you know, I mean, this looks still like a 4Runner. It's a little bit lower roof height wise, a little bit longer and a little bit wider. We now have 2 powertrains available: the iForce, which has 278 horsepower, and the iForce Max, which has 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. This Limited has a lower fascia right here, which is removable. And here's the Trailhunter. Honestly, the Trailhunter and the TRD Pro are probably going to be the most expensive and most interesting models for our audience on the channel. We'll walk you around this briefly here too. You can see some differences on the interior. I like that Toyota is finally coming out with some cool interior and exterior colors. I like the trimming on these seats. You can see down here we have way more control with our off-road settings. We've got a disconnectable sway bar, locking rear differential, multi-terrain select, downhill assist control, and then of course 2 high, 4 low. The 4Runner comes in limited trims with full-time 4-wheel drive, or you can get it as a standard 2-wheel drive model or a 4-wheel drive model with a 2-speed transfer case. So that's what we have here. We have 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low with locking diffs. Same layout that we've seen in the new Tacoma here with this center area, a little bit of storage space, grab handle. Really cool to see some of the changes here. No sunroof on this Trailhunter because we've got a roof rack, and all this stuff is factory. You've got ARB bits, including rock sliders from the factory, which is awesome. 33-inch Toyo Open Country all-terrain tires in 265/70 R18s. This is a good-looking 4Runner. I am really impressed with what Toyota has done here overall with the design, and it's cool that they're adding a few more trims into the lineup. Now, this is built in the same Tahara plant as the Lexus GX and the new Toyota Land Cruiser, and honestly, they all kind of share the same powertrains too. It's going to be interesting to see how these vehicles drive differently and where the pricing comes out with this later on. Let's take a look under the hood at this iForce Max powertrain on the Limited here. We don't have fuel economy numbers just yet, but we could probably expect a decent increase in overall fuel economy with this new iForce and iForce Max powertrain option over the old 4-liter V6. Probably somewhere in the low 20s, similar to what we see in the Land Cruiser, which is great. The thing I like about these new turbocharged Toyota motors is that they are torquey. there is just going to be a ton of torque here, which honestly was lacking quite a bit in the old 4-liter. Now, honestly, Toyota didn't really need to update the new 4Runner. They've been building it for 15 years. They're still selling like hotcakes, but I think this is going to be a really nice update going forward into probably the next 15 years. The Trailhunter trim is designed to be more overlanding, low-speed rock crawling. This Trailhunter has a bit of a leveling kit, different suspension from the TRD Pro, which has Fox shocks. TRD Pro is designed to go a little bit higher speed. You can see we've also got a snorkel integrated here into the passenger A-pillar. That looks pretty cool. And of course, as always, the Limited is designed to be a little bit more luxurious. This rides on 20-inch wheels with 265/55 R20 tires. Yeah, this is quite nice. It looks like potentially some of these seat materials aren't final production. Anytime you see this kind of nondescript plastic in a pre-production Toyota, that's a dead giveaway. Let's see what back seat space is like here. Kind of strange that you don't get a grab handle on the front driver's side. You get that in the GX and I believe in the Land Cruiser. We do have some adjustability here with our back seat. I feel like we have a little bit more headroom. There's a bit of a bump out right here, which is nice. That'll be good for taller passengers. And legroom feels a little bit more spacious. Again, because this is a longer vehicle, we can get a little bit more interior room from that. Overall, a nice looking interior space. I'm very curious to see what the third row will look like. But again, we will spend some more time in these 4Runners later this fall when they go on sale. We've got some nice controls over here to the left. In this Limited, we can change the angle of our headlights in case if we're towing, we're unsquatting a little bit, and you're not blinding other motorists as they pass by you on the road. We've got our gauge cluster brightness right there, traction control, auto high beams. Down here we've got our drive modes, tow haul mode. It's all pretty simple in here. We even get a 360 view monitor. See what the cameras look like. A little bit disappointed that we still have some blank switches here on the top trim, which is a bit strange. Infotainment is huge. This massive 14-inch display has made it into just about every Toyota model, or at least Toyota truck at this point, and it works really, really well. See our moonroof right here. We've got JBL audio, along with a removable speaker. That's cool. You can take this Bluetooth speaker with you and then just pop it back in. Let's take a look under the hood of the Trailhunter. You can see we've got a specific Trailhunter intake here. And there are a ton of accessories that you can fit these with. From air compressors. That is one thing I will give Toyota credit for. They are really enhancing the aftermarket dealer capability of these SUVs. We have Old Man Emu shocks and lift on this Trailhunter. You can see under here too. Got lots of skid plates and protection on the bottom of this, and it's already been scuffed up just a little bit, put to good use. Remote reservoirs on the rear OME shocks. Should be a pretty capable package. Can't wait to get behind the wheel of these. Got rigid lights up front. There's how you turn on your LED light bar. Got to turn on our headlights too. Yeah, I really like what they've done with the design here. It's aggressive, but not overdone, and it still looks like a 4Runner. It's recognizable, but just a little bit more meaty and chunky. Trailhunter right here in the headlights. Here's a good example of some of the articulation you get, even in this Limited trim. These should all be very off-road capable. About 6,000 pound towing capacity. And yes, you can fit a full-size spare in the back of this Trailhunter. It's a tight fit, but it works. Cool. All right, guys, well, it's just a quick walk around on this before we get a chance to drive it later this summer or fall. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.